evening, everybody, and welcome to another brand new and live Cosmic Human Design podcast. We've got the chat boards already going here. You guys, this is a live chat board, so you can write in. If you're writing in, usually the best link to use is the YouTube link, so that would be your best bet for that, so our chat board can come up here on the screen for you. If not, if you're chatting on Rumble or someplace else and I see it, I may share it on the show, so not to worry. All right, everybody, what is this Cosmic Human Design thing? What is this symbol behind us here with all this interesting lines everywhere? We'll explain it to you. Oh, you two switched spots too. Richard and Jaren are in different spots, so we'll figure that out. But first of all, we have traveling motivational speaker, manifestation teacher, and cosmic human design teacher, Jaren Kenyon. How you doing tonight, Jaren?
Doing great. Excited for tonight. Excited for you consistents that have been with us for a while, and for the newbies that may be joining us today. We feel very blessed to be able to have this knowledge of cosmic human design now, that is really fresh and new as of last year, thanks to Richard being able to get it computed for us. But it's something very special, very unique, and right, like divinely timed for everything that we have going on now. Everybody focused on becoming their real self and learning more about themselves and how to manifest quicker and how to synergize as a team and all kinds of things, as well as breaking away from the shadow side or the villain side of the matrix. That opposition we've been kind of dealing with. This chart that's uniquely you is to help you transcend that and move into the giving, loving, more quantum universe and cosmos. So thanks for joining us. We are going to tap in tonight.
Absolutely. And of course, we have Richard Mason with us, the Yale graduate who helped do the mathematics of this new cosmic human design system, moving from the old human design system into this cosmic human design, putting things in the right direction where they need to be so that we're all in harmony with this design. Some of us change drastically with this. So like if your horoscope, everything can change with what this design is now. But the actual solidness of what human design is, all of the different charts and everything will still mesh with this. It's just that you have to get the right design first, and then you can use all that stuff. So that's what that's all about. Richard, how you doing tonight, buddy?
What's up, Greg? Doing great. Excited to see some new people in the chat already there. Welcome. So the whole thing about cosmic human design is, if you get yourself right, if you're correct in your own individual life, then everything in your outer world is going to be aligned. It's going to be harmonious. See, this is a problem we have in a modern day society, is that society would like to teach us that we need to, be involved in everyone else's affairs or worry about their affairs or, what the president is doing, what all these people are doing. When in fact, if you just simply concentrate on your own life and being in harmony with yourself, then everything in your life will start going right. And you'll see that. And you'll be getting help from the cosmos. This is why it's called cosmic human design, because it's something that's kind of been lost in our overall consciousness, is the fact that there is this orderly, beautiful, transcendent cosmos already out there. Modern science would like us to believe that there is like no life in the universe or something, or like that we just evolved from, random chance. It's all random. And there's nothing else out there, except for us. And that's a very, that view damages our own consciousness and our ability to be ourselves, because if it's like blocking out the cosmos. And that's what a lot of these bad people have been trying to do, is to block out the greater cosmos so that we are living in their matrix, where we are controlled, and that's what we're breaking out of. And I think cosmic human design can help us do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it also contributes to a lot of the negativity in the world right now, the lack of confidence, the ego that goes on, runs wild in people, and the insecurities that are all over the place. It's all because you don't know who you are. And, I see it, like let's say I put up a TikTok video and it's about the future of quantum financial or something, right? And you will get 70% negative comments, but they'll follow you anyways, but they'll be like, oh, this is bullshit. This isn't ever going to happen, right? And we've talked about that being karma as well, right? You're throwing out the karma there and you're just bouncing it right back at you. Again, not helping raise your vibrational levels. So you got to be really careful there. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play us a video here for those who haven't been very into human design or know the details of what human design is. We'll start with a nice little starter video here, which is a really cool video of a girl coloring in a chart. And we're going to talk a little bit about what she's doing here and give you a little quick intro to what is human design. So take a look here. I'll bring this on over and bring up the video.
There are 9 energy centers in your human design body graph. The centers that are colored in are considered defined, and these are the centers where you are able to consistently create energy based on the theme of that center. The centers that are not colored in are considered undefined. These are the centers where you're designed to sample and reflect, but not necessarily to create energy. The 36 channels, which are influenced by the Kabbalah tree of life, connect the energy centers and move energy through the body graph. The energy centers each have their own unique theme, loosely based in the Hindu Brahman chakra system. The crown center is the pressure to know. The ajna is perspective of what we know. The throat is expression and manifestation. The G center is knowing where you're going and loving what you do. The splenic center is the center of instinct, intuition, and survival. The solar plexus is our center of emotional intelligence. Your ego center is the center of willpower and motivation. Sacral is the center of life force energy. And lastly, your root center is the center of the pressure to move forward. There are 64 gates in your chart, which are informed by the I Ching. When 2 gates are defined at either end of a channel, then both energy centers light up. When you combine the messages of 2 gates, then you get a specific theme for the channel. The 2034 channel, for example, is the channel of charisma. It combines the gate of power with the gate of the now. Charisma is power in the now.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. A little intro video there for you. Seems like some people really liked it. So right there, you see the graph behind us. That's the 64 there. So talk a little bit about it, boys. About what we just saw there and what this chart, how powerful it is.
Well, I'm going to feed off of the 34 to 20 since I have that in my chart. Going to give a little go on this, but at first I'm actually going to start with a question that we had earlier from Alicia. We'll let Richard explain this a little from a different angle or a little more in depth. But the question was, how did we come up and how did Richard come up with the math for this? And I just want to touch upon again the fact that when you get your normal horoscope or you have your normal, as most people see it, this is my astrology. This is what my sun is. This is what my moon is. It's based on what's called tropical astrology, which is, if you picture a circle with 12 pieces of the pie, they say that there's 12 different pieces and they're all the same size. And a fast track version of what this is, there is 13 signs and all the sizes are different. So Scorpio is very small, Virgo is very big, for an example. So you have to picture that the sizes are not 30 degrees or 30 days each. Just like people are not the same sizes, planets are not the same sizes, trees are not the same sizes. We're all different. And if you got a telescope out and you looked into the visible, true, pure, natural universe, you would see this. So the old design system, which a couple thousand years ago was injected into societal norms is really kind of a made up system that is not reflective of the true and pure universe. And so it's important with your design, because standard design, which I practiced for many years, is based off that tropical astrology. And up until about a year and a half ago, that's all there was. But thankfully, connecting with Richard, we were able to get it right and echo what the natural pure universe looks like, which means that the energy that was, neutrinos flowing through the cosmos at your point of birth, is now accurate according to the planetary alignments around it, as opposed to before, when it's kind of a false, in a sense, man-made up system that doesn't reflect the actual universe. And whether good or bad, or for whatever reason, which we talked about on many of the past shows, which you all can take a look at, there are several Cosmic Human Design podcasts we have done.
21.
We talk about this in depth. 21, yeah. There's that number again. 21 as a whole. You can see that more in depth, as well as the Cosmic Human Design on the Facebook group that Richard's developed. There's a lot of information on that as well to figure out, where and why that came to be. But I can tell you from my truth, this is who I really am. And my old version was something that at times I was trying to be, because we are told that we're that design, even in our feeling state of our subconscious beliefs, let's just call it that. And it's being a false identity, and it's kind of putting us out of touch and tune with the real rhythms and cycles of the universe and the cosmos. And this gets us in attunement and alignment, and kind of helps us be us, and also ride the cosmic waves as they're designed to be ridden, as opposed to going against the curve or going against who we really are. This is who we really are. And like Greg said, human design itself is amazing, and it's all there. It's all correct. The issue was the calculations of the astrology. So you had improper data going into the system. Now we have the correct data. And that's my interpretation of the quick synapse to give people that are new out there to discover from my end. But I'm sure Richard has got some other things to touch upon beyond that.
Well, yeah, Jaren, that summed it up pretty nicely. The short answer is that I was inspired. I was inspired to get this right. I looked at my true sidereal natal chart in astrology, and it was like everything just instantaneously clicked. All the planets being in different signs, than they were in my usual tropical horoscope. It just made instantaneous sense to me. And, I had to do a lot of programming, a lot of computer stuff to get these calculations right. I had to do a lot of research into human design. I read many of Ra's works, Ra Uru, the founder of human design, to really deeply understand what was going on, and to make sure I got it right. Because I had to find the what would be considered the starting point of the wheel. It's all about the human design mandala, the wheel that shows the hexagrams connected to the zodiac. And so I had to determine what was the true starting point, so that took a lot of research and inspiration. And then, I had to do a lot of programming with a lot of data. I think I have like a 20 gigabyte sized data set, which is a lot. And got the calculations correct to the minute. So every minute of every day for like the past 100 years is in there. Which is something that is not common on charting apps. They don't usually go into that kind of detail. But the short answer is I was inspired to create it. Inspired by the I Ching, I want to say, the cosmic I Ching. And I think another point about human design is that most people who are in human design have heard of it, whatnot. And this ties back into that video we just watched. She said that the 64 numbers were, quote, informed by the I Ching. Well, I would go much further than that and say, they are the I Ching. They are the hexagrams of the I Ching. The I Ching is just so important to everything human design is about. But it's like those aspects of the I Ching have been de-emphasized in the popular teaching of human design. Ra, for example, in his lectures, he doesn't really talk about the I Ching. Once we really understand what the I Ching is all about, it makes everything in human design so much more clear, in my opinion. And, again, that's why it's called cosmic human design, because of this cosmic I Ching, the oracle of the cosmic way. And yeah, I hope that answers it. And yeah, the video, I thought the video was, it was really good. It was really short and sweet. And yeah, that body graph, the body graph is basically a map of your chi energy and how that flows within you, so that you can see what is consistently you, what is truly you, and what is not self. You're not self or ego. So yeah, great video. I just wanted to emphasize, the I Ching in all of this. The I Ching is the foundation of human design, and what it really means is those 64 hexagrams are basically the 64 cosmic principles of harmony. The laws of the universe, which is not a widely known fact, and that obviously gives all of human design a much broader perspective, because these 64 numbers, these 64 principles are in everything and determine everything that happens.
Yeah, that's great stuff. And if you guys are looking for the YouTube link, just go to the Cosmic Human Design page. So youtube.com/Cosmic Human Design. You'll see it live right there. Sometimes when we go live, the links don't match up. So this one just went to the public page. So it's there. Got to find it. So just go to the page and click on it, and you'll be live with us. Otherwise, we're on Rumble, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So we're all over the place. So you can find us somewheres. You can find us somewheres in the cosmos. So, yeah, so this stuff is great. It works so well. I know when Jaren introduced me to it, I immediately grasped it. I said, wow, this is excellent. I understand a lot better of taking steps forward in my life instead of dancing around life and keep on going in circles, because you can't get nowheres when you don't have a good roadmap. And when you don't know yourself, that's not a good roadmap to have. So, this stuff is fantastic. So get your power pyramid out there, everybody. Go on there, cosmichumandesign.com, and get your free chart, and then put it right out here in the chat. Who you are, what's your design, so we can take a look and see who's watching us here as a design. And Jaren likes to see the world as the Matrix, so he kind of views everybody as a cosmic human design, anyways, when he walks around and sees people. So he's like, I can predict who's going to do what next just because I can tell what design they are. What about that, Jaren?
Oh, well, a little bit. Yeah. I like that you said it's a map, and also you could call it a user's manual to yourself. You'll hear a lot of the teachers and sages of the world. They teach you different elements of self-discovery and self-mastery with the principles of the universe, but they say that, we don't know how to operate our vehicle as a species. And, this is that. This is a way to look at the unique you and learn how to operate yourself, which is unique to you. It's the science of differentiation. So no one is exactly you. And the farther you explore your cosmic design chart, the more you'll see your differences, even with people that you think you have a lot of similarities with. So, and its impact is, efficient energy, conserving energy. You're able to take power strategy designed actions. It's a power design. It allows you to manifest easier, quicker, better, smoother, and more efficiently, and also within your relationships improve. You're in more harmony with your relationships when you understand the basics of those around you. So it can avoid a lot of stress with those you love the most or those you work with. And also jumping time. I mean, we talk about the new earth, and we talk about our ability to create with our thoughts and feelings much quicker than ever before and much more consciously. And so this also adds to that. It's one thing to know how to manipulate and use energy, which we know many of us are into, and I teach on, but also you need to know your own difference and how your suit works and how it operates with the people around you. And it's a great gift, I tell you. It sounds complex, and we'll use a lot of complex words at times. And for those of you really interested, you could study forever. Trust me, and Richard could go on forever with learning about it. However, when you learn your basics and the parts that matter, it will allow the rest of your design to flourish. So you will notice within a week or two of following some of your basics, your life starts to change. And ideally, what happens is you get out of a lot of your negative old karma, you get back into who you really are, and you start to watch fresh energy being created in front of you. You know, you'll start to watch your dreams come true by following the roadmap or the manual that you have. So check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, when you talk about just knowing the basics, that's basically where I am. I've by osmosis, I've learned more just being around you two. But I really just know the basics, and it works for me so well. And I've just flurried with that. I haven't felt the need to stop and go deeper because it's working really well for me, and I'm just going with it, and I'm just feeling out my design. And also Jaren kind of tells me when I'm going with my design. He's like, yeah, you're going right with it. That's good. That's your 1-3, whatever, you know. So that's a good sign that he's keeping an eye on me, making sure I'm not getting off track.
There you go, man. So what do we got today?
Well, I got one more video for you guys because I want to see if this is true. Okay. So There's one more video and we'll react to it. Richard, I want you to react first here. So when we come back here.
And the thing with human design is that older you are with life, you eventually figure out your design. But when you say that to a person who's young, it can be a game changer.
Sure, of course.
So one of the most interesting use cases of human design is telling parents about their kids and how they should raise them,
sculpt their path accordingly.
So for example, as a projector, your projectors need to be recognized because they have that bird's eye view. They can see. I told you, you know how to direct people onto the best way for them to utilize their energy. So you early on you figure things out early on, and you start wanting to tell your parents how to do things, but they don't take you seriously because you're a child, and that can be very frustrating for a projector. So a parent knowing that their kid is a projector can help them, give them that recognition that they need, and train them, because what projectors need to do for them to live in peace is to learn how to wait for the invitation to help, because you are wired, you're programmed to want to help people and direct them in a way and lead them. So you need to be taught to learn how to wait for the invitation. You demonstrate your skill set to people around you, and then you wait for them to ask you for help.
Wow.
And that if you don't learn that, and in relationships, that can be problematic because you do tend to give unsolicited help. I don't know if you can relate to that.
Okay, Richard. So my question to you is, number one, will you know your design when you get older? Is it naturally just come to you? And is it better when you have a kid, and even when you're a young man, you know, let's say you're 20, or a young lady who's 16, to understand her design or his design? How much advantage is that in life?
Yeah, you know, the older you get, the more, of course, most people understand about themselves, unless you're caught up in some kind of self-image, right? Some self-image ego thing, and then your entire life is just kind of turns into a dead end. But you will eventually wake up from that, and you know, hopefully realize who you really are. And yeah, what he said about the projector, I think really rings true. You know, and children especially, you know, that's one of the gonna be one of the most important applications of human design, and hopefully cosmic human design in the future is Parents working with their children. Yeah. If you've got children, absolutely take a look at their chart. Because that's how we all get messed up in the first place. That's how we've all been messed up, is growing up as children in this world, this ego world. And then those ego things slip into us as children when we can't really defend ourselves from it or say no. See, that's the thing. Children, have a natural ability to say no to something that's incorrect for them. But when parents then override that inner no of the child, it actually breaks the child's ability to say no in the future to harmful elements, and which are everywhere, So, yeah. And yeah, like it said, the projector, really great advisor, really great at understanding others, like he said, at becoming an expert at something, and then just waiting for that opportunity to give their knowledge, to get that recognition that they so deeply desire and deserve.
You're talking to my heart, Richard. Jaren, Jaren, what's your reaction there?
Right. Well, first of all, to that, yet with all human beings, and in this case, we're talking about projectors, so even more so, right? To get valued and seen and recognized outside of yourself, first you must do that within yourself. So it's about acknowledging your unique self, the gifts that you have, the desires and the calling that you feel and what you're interested in, and feeling more of yourself within it. Confidence and loving yourself and knowing your own worth will assist, and especially projectors that wish to be valued and seen outside of themselves, as well as getting around the right people. So it's important to attract yourself around the right people so that you're being conditioned from the positive instead of the negative, and so that you're being allowed to express yourself and lead where you're designed to lead, instead of being shut down or not invited or whatnot. But I want to comment real quick on the beginning too, is I don't think most people, as we get older, we could say we get wiser within the human construct of society, and maybe, life lessons of how human beings have been living or have been operating through. But in my opinion, now is the time when all of us, no matter what age, are rising up, and the dimension is changing. So rules are changing, and our awareness of self is going so quickly now for all of us out there. And that includes the shadow reflections that you're getting. That includes the negative that you're being reflected that may feel frustrating or make you angry or make you feel bitter. Those kinds of things are showing up too to cause us to grow. And lastly, in regards to the design world is, good or bad, I'm just going to say how we see it here at Cosmic Design. Most of the people that are aware of their design in the world have their wrong design. So they may be working within that and feel successful within that. Ironically, there's a much easier and more pure way for them once they arrive to this. So that's personally how I want to speak to this. This is the truth, and that is not, but you can choose to go along with it if you wish. So with that being said, as we're all learning this, all three of us, including on this show, this is new. This is fresh. This is part of the change. This is part of the awakening, part of the ascension. Some of these tools and awarenesses are now being given to humans who are, I don't want to say earning the right, but doing their own work to match it and to vibrate themselves to a certain level. So this is special. This is new, and this is now for us. And we did not have this ability before. Well, we did in other systems, of course, but not combining into this human design system and how it can apply to your life on a moment-to-moment basis. That's how special this is. There's less than a few thousand people in the world that are aware of this thus far.
Yeah, I agree. I look up Cosmic Human Design often, trying to find it on TikTok or anything. Nobody's talking about it yet. So we are cutting edge, leading the charge in Cosmic Human Design. So if you're watching this, you are one of the very few who are going into the future of what this is, and the future of being an internet of human beings. So pretty amazing. And someone was just talking about how your brain is like the internet, and amazing. Like it's a quantum internet. It's amazing what your brain can do. And you think about it, how you can compartmentalize things, how you can put things in certain categories, how you can put emotion and attach it to something. And then when someone brings up that emotion, all of a sudden that memory comes flooding back. It's amazing. You go to that website, there it is. I still got that website up and running. So we have the most amazing quantum computer sitting on top of our shoulders. So don't let that go to waste. You know, when you get this type of stuff going and you understand who you are, you know, having this power pyramid of the cosmic human design, you can just achieve anything at that point. You become ultra powerful. So it's amazing. And you stop worrying about all the little crap, like Richard was saying in the beginning. You know, we're all self-consumed about the news and who's president, and on and on and on and on it goes. You know, the things that we consume ourselves with. And I swear to God, the law of distraction is the most real law in the universe, because I see it constantly. When I'm doing great for myself, when I'm doing momentum things, when I'm trying to expand my being, when I've got Jaren on the other line and I'm trying to expand with him and we're co-creating, I got Richard going, we got co-creation going, I've got somebody bugging my phone or bugging my ear or something happening that's trying to distract me, that's trying to bring me the other direction. You know, it's just like turning on the news channel, right? And all of a sudden the news is trying to churn you in a different direction. It's giving you all this information you never knew before, but all of a sudden you got to know it. And it's putting you in a different vibrational level. You were here. Now you're here just by that one action. So be weary of what's happening out there around you. Be very conscious of what is happening around you when you have good things happening, when you have good vibes happening. To keep that good vibes going, watch the distractions that walk into your life. And again, find ways of moving beyond them and continuing down the high vibrational path, and you'll do really well for yourself. All right. So, Richard, would you like to do the daily, or do you want to do your, what do we got here? What do you got here? The New Age?
It's some interesting correlations between hexagram 59 of the I Ching and the great change that's coming, and how it's related to the age of Aquarius.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah, but we can take a look at the daily first.
All right, we'll do the daily
see what's
first.
going on there.
Yeah, everybody, if you haven't been with us before, the daily is a really fun thing here. It's just like getting your daily horoscope type thing. It usually lasts a little while here, almost sometimes it lasts a week there, Richard, doesn't it? You're kind of in this area here. So when he's talking about it, it's not just today. It's a few days or a week around us here that this is going to be happening. So this is what's going on in the stars. What's going on, Richard?
Yeah, so today we've got the sun in the 42nd gate. Like I always say, you want to look at the sun and where it's at primarily. That's going to give you the most value of knowing, what the cosmic weather is like, so to say. So the 42, wow, 42 is increase. It's increase, growth. Literally the gene key, the hexagram that builds, that increases productivity, resources, wealth, your personal exploration, growth in all dimensions. That's the 42. That's why it's called increase, because growth, it can mean many things, growth in many directions, but increase, the word increase, you're always adding, it's always adding up. So no matter which way you go, it's increased, it's improved, it's better. So yeah, having the sun in the 42, this has been a positive week for growth. Wow. Look back on the week and see if you've grown, if you've increased in any area this past week, because we are on the 42.6. So we will be leaving the 42 in a day or two. But yeah, look back on this week and see if you can see that, you know, because the more that you can see and identify these gene keys in your life, in your daily life, then, you know, the more intuitively you can relate to them, and the more intuitively you can relate to them inside yourself and better understand yourself and what's the correct direction for you.
I'm also seeing a lot of colored in areas here.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say a lot of definition today.
No channels though.
Yeah, there's no actual channels that are all in the personality. But
yeah, everyone, when we're looking at this, we're looking at the personality side, because this has to do with what's going on today. So we're looking at the black gates and or the colored gates, the black and red gates, and then how that may connect. And Richard's taken us through the parts that matter the most. I just want to say real quick too, if we look back at the last week and we say, hey, it's this time of growing, so we're looking back and seeing where we've grown, I would also just throw devil's advocate and say, that's if you're being you, following your passion, your purpose, being true to you, being positive, proactive, intuitive, the whole gamut. The other side can happen where you're not growing where you could have by being in the shadow aspect of this, or the shadow aspect of your whole self, you know, not being willing to move through your comfort zone, not being willing to let things go, not having the courage and faith to go forward, you know, or being worried about what people may think outside of you with your choices, or being too much in fear to do with money, or, you know, all kinds of things. So ideally, we want to ride the cosmos in the enlightened part, right? In the gift part. And to do that, we must be ourselves. So you have to take a look at your own chart of how you function, and take a look at your own life and see, hey, you know what? I didn't do this, but I could have done this. So you know what? I'm going to now choose to do this. You know, I missed out. No, I didn't. There's always another moment, but I can see where growth could happen, but I'm holding on to or limiting myself with whatever factors. And most importantly, following your strategy and authority and getting out of your own mind when it comes to choice of action and to perception of how things are supposed to be. When Greg mentioned supercomputer in the brain, of course, it's a quantum computer. But what design is also giving us to add to that is the quantum computer of your entire body. Because when you look at your chart there, you'll see that the ajna is only one of 9 centers. So it's 11% of your life if you look at it. And human beings give way too much credit to their mind as well as their emotional trauma and emotional reactions, when really that's only a portion of your life. You have so much other aspects that are to do with energy and awarenesses that are outside of your own mind. And your mind is designed to set the destination of what you want to accomplish and the direction of where you want to go. And for the most part, albeit there are certain things it's used for in general, then you want to kind of get out of it and let the rest of your design shine through, and let the rest of the magic come through that is creation, that cannot happen if your own mind is limiting it due to past karma and or perception of what you're projecting forward, which largely we are learning to break through within this matrix control system we've been living under.
Yeah, great points there, Jaren. And yeah, you're right. We're a complete quantum system. Our body too. Richard, I had a question. So there is red lines, and there's also red and black lines. They're kind of striped. What's going on there? What is the difference here?
So the striped or red and black lines mean that that gate is activated both by the personality, the right side, and the design, the left side. So those are gates that you might feel especially strongly about because they're in your conscious and your unconscious. So yeah, that's what those mean.
Within your own chart. Good question, Greg. Yeah, within your own personal chart he's referring to. Yeah. With today's chart that we're looking at of what we're all subject to as a species, we're looking at the personality side.
Yeah, the reason we're looking at the black lines, the personality side for the transits, is because the design side is calculated about 3 months before the current date or your birth date. And that's why it's called the design. You know, it's kind of like what's built in to you naturally versus the personality side, which is what you're consciously aware of. So there's that kind of duality there.
Richard, can I ask you something? I'll give your view on it. Something I noticed to add to the daily before I know we move on to a topic we have today. The moon being in 14, going along with 42 and seeing that the moon is in 14.4 even today, but in the 14, I just wanted to see your interpretation of that and the connection to the 42.
Wow, you know, Jaren, yeah, as soon as you said that, I was just, my sacral was lighting up. The 14 and the 42 are very much related. You know, they are both sacral energies. If you look at the sacral there, the 14 and 42. So they're both tremendous energies of growth. You know, the 14 in the gene keys, it has the gift of competence and the city of bounteousness. It's called possession in great measure. So it's about, you know, acquiring wealth, acquiring resources, being able to generate those individually for yourself. You know, that's the possession that we have in great measure. Everything we need, it will come to us. And the 42, and one thing I want to emphasize about the 42 that can really change your life is, you know, increase. It stands for increase. And I think that all of us could do a better job of realizing the gift-giving nature of the cosmos. That's a key point. The cosmos is not stingy with providing for us. Like, this is something I encourage you to do. Start looking at your daily life and everything that comes to you. Start looking at it as a gift from the cosmos. And it's like, once you do that, you get more and more gifts and it's such an incredible realization to feel that this cosmos, this reality, the true reality we live in, is benevolent, beneficent, and will give you everything you truly need if you're correct. You know, if you respect that that's what the cosmos is, that it's not stingy with its gifts. Because as soon as you believe that, as soon as you believe, for example, oh, I never get what I need, as soon as you say that, you're cutting yourself off from those gifts that the cosmos could be bringing you. So yeah, the 42-14 are both right on that this line of you know, building up, getting these gifts.
Yeah, great stuff there. Yeah, why don't we finish up with the daily? We'll go on to the next subject here, Richard, that we wanted to include in here. We'll bring back up the chat board here for a minute. A lot of people writing in here. We appreciate everybody writing. Sounds like they're communicating amongst themselves as well, so that we encourage that as well. Oh, very cool. All right.
Yeah, that's true. Most people do have their personality and design Pluto in the same gate. Same with their Neptune and Saturn and Uranus as well. But, you know, a lot of people have them different, especially if it's retrograde or something like that, for example.
Okay, Richard. Here we
All
go.
right.
Richard's got a lessons for us. Buckle up. It's like a professor from Yale here. He's ready to give you a lesson.
I just want to bring to your guys' attention some pretty awesome correspondences with the 59th gate, the 59th gene key. It's called dissolution. Dissolution. What does that mean? Well, if we look at you know, some stuff, we see dissolution is one of the secrets of alchemy. You know, the symbol of dissolution is actually the same symbol of the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is supposed to be the new age. We're moving into the sign of Aquarius. How many times have you heard that? The age of Aquarius is upon us, Well, it has the sign, the alchemical symbol of dissolution. Now, what does that really mean? What is dissolution? And also interesting is the 59. Richard Rudd talks about the great change that's coming soon, sort of like a new age, and in that great change, the major gene keys are going to be the 55 and the 59, because the 59, is the programming partner of the 55. So that's several ways that this 59 is corresponding to this new age, this great change that's coming. And what does it actually mean? Well, let's scroll down here. And there you see the symbol of dissolution, the wavy lines there, same from Aquarius. And yeah, you also see the symbol of dissolution on the tarot card here. On the wheel, at the bottom of the wheel, you see there's the symbol of dissolution as well. Very interesting. And the 59, it's got the shadow of dishonesty, gift of intimacy, city of transparency. So that's very interesting. It's wind over water, dissolution. And here we go from the Cosmic I Ching, the Oracle of the Cosmic Way, the 59. I think this is very insightful, what the dissolution, the dissolving really is about. And what it's about, and we can read through all this if we want, but let me just summarize it for you, is dissolution means dissolving from the group, dissolving yourself from the collective ego that is basically this matrix that we've been living in. So many people feel like they are plugged into the matrix, in terms of their, their personal identity. Oh, well, they think, oh, I'm a, engineer. So they go to work every day as an engineer, and then they come home and they do certain things that are the same. Their identity is wrapped up in society. People compare themselves to others all the time, which is a mistake, because the thing here is, if we look at the last paragraph there, a person's attachment to the collective ego is expressed by his thinking in terms of the group we. This is critical, the group we. So a person starts thinking of themselves not in terms of I, but in terms of we. And what that does is transfers that person's inner center to the group, which is something that is just very profound. So now it's like they aren't even themselves, because they've transferred their identity to the group we, as in saying we are one big family. So a person starts thinking of themselves solely in terms of what they are in relation to the family, rather than, really knowing themselves. And that can refer to a marriage, family, community, spiritual group, people in a corporation, a whole nation. We've got all these groups. And it says, thinking in those terms diverts the individual from being in touch with his own inner truth and forces him to place his dependence on the values and rules that have been defined by the group. This shows that the group we is a group ego. So very, very profound there. So dissolution, as it goes on to say, is actually, removing our bonds from this group that we've become trapped by. Whenever someone thinks of themselves in terms of a group we, they're neglecting themselves.
Yeah, that's interesting there. want to break that down for a second. So when we think of ourselves as part of a group, sometimes we think of it as a positive, right? That we're a member of something, right? And that it's fun and it's great that we have community. But, you know, you look at society as a whole, right? You're programmed by society. You're programmed to think a certain way, to act a certain way, to fit in, number one, right? You don't want to look like the oddball out. Most people don't. There's a few apples there that like to be different, but most people want to fit in. So number one, you're fitting in without actually honoring yourself first. So you're trying to fit in, but without honor. And you got to make sure that that honor is there within oneself. Otherwise, you're being a fake person. Jaren, you want to respond?
Yeah, integrity with yourself first. You know, it's interesting talking about dissolving from the we concept of fitting into something external, you know, and the herds, right? Following, let's be one with the herd around us. Human design is signs of differentiation for a reason. You know, we are individuals, we're undivided from the whole, and we're going to move towards unity. But to do that, we're going to become more unique. We're going to realize our diverseness. And this gate really speaks to a lot because, as Richard said, you know, as the I Ching shares with us, you know, or as this information shares with us, the 55 and 59 really are two of the most important in the chart, or, you know, to understand in the I Ching, because it does represent the great change. So the great change in the 55 is moving from victimhood to freedom. And there are a lot of senses of victimhood, but one of the biggest for me is, you know, thinking that reality is happening to you instead of owning up your own responsibility into the creation, because reality outside of yourself is nothing but a reflection of you, of where you've taken yourself towards. So to get out of victimhood, you have to own yourself, own your own energy, own your own. Then getting into, now we're talking about being yourself, being authentic. And then that is what inevitably creates true intimacy, not false intimacy. But see, in the older, the shadow of 59, because as we said, these two are mates, the shadow is dishonesty, but it largely has to do with agendas, having an agenda. And this was permitted and desired in the past. So you can even see it, not just individual egos, but in groups. Think of countries in the world in the past. And, you know, now you could take it out to all these businesses going against each other, or now we could even look at the elite cabal itself and everything we want to talk about there, right? They have an agenda. So there's lying going on, dishonesty, and an agenda of something to gain. And what we're moving into is, yeah, freedom, inside out, being myself, but I'm not using some entity or conscious being in front of me for my own good and to put them down or manipulate something to gain my own advantage. And that's what you're seeing. And that is breaking down. They are being exposed because that is not allowed. And that means for those of us, all of us, because we're all experiencing this at times, whether it's in our chart consistently or not, we have to get out of any kind of agenda or manipulation and be completely authentic and honest. That does not mean sacrifice. That does not mean compromise. That's another shadow, right? And that does not even mean, well, I forgot the third one I was going to say, but it means being available and real and true. And what that results in, I was going somewhere, but what that results in is that, you know, in the past, you could say yes to something and morphs to something to gain something in the moment, like, or for a short interval of time. I took a step up. I got something accomplished or something cleared up I wanted, but it wasn't of integrity and it wasn't for the long haul. Now we may make choices that may dissolve things in the moment. Oh shit, I lost that opportunity for that growth in my career, or for money or for wealth, or I lost that opportunity to manipulate my partner to get what I wanted for that minute. But in the long haul, it makes things congruent and it makes your next step and what follows through to be a quantum leap in the good. So now we want to make actions that are truthful, accept the consequences, and embrace the change of rising and spiraling upwards to greatness and to more positivity. So, Greg, you wanted to say something on that?
Well, all I want to say is that it goes back to the saying that Your vibe attracts your tribe. And if you can have a high vibration, you can be okay with that. You're going to attract the right people. And just like this group here that we have going on right now with Cosmic Human Design, you guys are amazing out there. You guys don't understand. You look at yourself in the mirror and you don't understand how amazing you are to know what you know right now, to be in this zone, to be in this high vibrational level, to think this way. And think about what normal general public people are thinking about right now. Hot dogs and the ball game. You are here learning about cosmic human design, something that's going to break the mold of everything on this planet. So your vibe is going to attract your tribe. So just stay in that vibe and you'll get them. All right, Richard, let me bring that back over. We can
if we could scroll down to the bottom, the last parts of it there. I just wanted to emphasize the big picture. Yeah, there we go. Of what I'm talking about here. So, and this ties into our current times, our current situation as well. Starting from the second to last paragraph, it says here, as the lines of this hexagram makes clear, the individual can go along with the group only so long as the group itself is in harmony with the cosmos. He must retreat and say inner no when an action or course of action does not correspond with his inner truth. Now, this is important. A society can launch itself on a fateful course only when its people fail to say this inner no, either through being led to think that they cannot do anything about it, or when they acquiesce in its course. Failing to say the inner no gives the leaders an inner permission to continue. Even when the inner no is said by only one person, the leaders cannot continue in the long run. So, I don't know about you, but I've been saying the inner no to some of our leaders lately. They're guaranteed to fall, But, really, it's important for us to say the inner no to our, leaders that are being incorrect. If we don't do that, then, they have this inner permission to continue. And line 5 here says, dissolution, a king abides without blame. Pictured here is a situation that has disintegrated, the ruling government has fallen, etc. All appears to be chaos. Then changes are made to shore up the marriage, government, whatever, all appearing to be more receptive to people's real needs. When the smoke of the turbulence has passed, lo, the same system has been reinstalled. Nothing substantial has changed. How is this to be explained? By convincing the people that, quote, anything is better than chaos, the ruling egos remain in place. That's what's been going on throughout our history, is we have these different changes of government, but it's still the same ego, ruling egos that are still there. And what dissolution, we can see what it really means is, saying no to this cabal, to this deep state. That's literally what it means. And that's going to make way for the new age, this age of Aquarius that's coming. It's the symbol of dissolution. It's there, it's imprinted in collective consciousness. Whenever, the downfall of this deep state, of this cabal, is, inevitable. And it's going to lead to this new age. It's part of the new age.
Well, Richard, it looks like Elon Musk has been leading the charge here the last couple of days on the stuff he's been saying.
Yeah, I like what he's been doing lately.
Yeah, I mean, we never know who to trust and not to trust in all of this, but man, he has been calling things out. And
it looks like he's a good guy now, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah, whether he was at one point on the other side, he seemed to have made his way back to the helping humanity out and wanting to see, more free humanity, and he seems to be on board for that. What do you think, Jaren?
Yeah, I do feel that way, and I just feel that when we look at this as, without like naming individuals, just looking at the general ascension and then the general bad guys, or however we want to see it. When Richard's saying, say no, it's don't give your energy towards it anymore. So in the deepest state, the darkest aspects, perhaps even beyond human, they cannot create for themselves. They control our attention and our energy, so we create what they want for them. So two things happen is we're going to not give it energy anymore. Same thing as neuroplasticity in your brain. When you stop giving it energy, it gradually dies out. Same principle. And also putting our attention, and as Greg mentioned, getting away from negative distractions or distractions at all that we don't feel right with, and creating what we do want and what we do want to happen. And the more of us that do this, we were talking about this on the QSI Telegram platform the last week or two, about working as a group, manifesting as a legion of people, we can speed it up. We'll speed up the quantum financial system. We'll speed up the fall of the cabal, all these other things by not giving energy to it in your own life, but also by creating and with being in alignment with others and creating what we do want. This is the way that we're doing it, not fighting it. You see, when you fight it or you're denying it and ignoring it, just still living within it, this is the shadow aspect of the gene keys of fight or flight, then you're still feeding it energetically, and it's continuing the loop system, and it's continuing the hierarchy. And so it's easy to see this in the grand scale and say, oh, stop watching the news or stop doing this or whatever. But also just in your individual life, saying no to what's not right for you and putting your energy and attention all in on what is right for you and going towards that path. And then those of you that do that, besides what happens collectively, which is all a transition, will determine how soon, how easily, and how big your transition is. Many will transition earlier because they're focused more on their own life in that creation. Many that are waiting to be saved will take much longer, and they'll be in different positions. So get your attention on you and on what you love and what you're passionate about in front of you. And that's what you want to go towards.
Yeah, excellent there, Jaren. And I think the key word there is dissolve it. Don't fight it. Don't, shout about it. Just dissolve it. Just let it fade away as you better yourself and find the right things in your life to focus on. And then the more you focus on and co-create this kind of stuff, the quicker this stuff starts to accelerate and we start to move in the right direction on this planet. So great lesson there, Richard. We love it. Good job, man. So that's going to be our episode for this week of the Cosmic Human Design Podcast. That was a quick hour. Blew by. Thanks, everybody, for chatting with us. We had lots of chat boards. We'll probably go back through and take a look and maybe give you guys a shout out at some point. We are on every other Wednesday night, so check us out. We are on youtube.com/Cosmic Human Design, or I put it out to a lot of different places going live. This is a little bit better than the Rise Show, which we do every Sunday, which is a little bit more controversial. We can't do some of those other channels, but
No.
Once in a while we've gotten controversial on here too. We had to tone it down a little bit, but yes, we have a great group over there on Telegram that is awesome, the Quantum Stellar Initiative. So if you guys want to check them out, they're a great group over there, and they talk a lot about the quantum financial system. So if you're interested in that, go check that out as well. So Emily's a fantastic person, and we had her on the Rise Show and have done other things with her. You can work with Jaren one-on-one coaching. You can work with Richard one-on-one coaching with this Cosmic Human Design System. So you can contact those guys and check it out. And then you can watch our older shows. We got 21 shows out there, everybody. Go check them out. Any final words, Mr. Kenyon?
Yeah, tune in Sunday for Rise Evolution. 1E, Rise Evolution, one word with 1E on Rumble.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, Richard, any final words for you, sir?
These are exciting times we're living in. Don't be depressed. Don't be scared. Now is the perfect time to go out and make your dreams come true. If ever there was a time, it's now. Wow,
excellent. Great stuff.
And Greg, for you, I want to give you some recognition in that too. What Richard says is, besides interest in design help, and mention me and Richard for sure. We're here to support. But if also you're interested in, bringing your dreams to life, and you want help with your design, your social media, your marketing, your outlet, you want to make your stuff more succinct and cool, come to Greg. Greg is, he is,
Yeah.
He's helping a few others really flourish. He's helped me flourish in his life. And you can see the greatness that he will become as an aspiring, almost producer like person. So check him out. What is it? Schumacher Industries, right,
Yeah.
Greg?
SchumacherIndustries.com and Rise TV. We are going to start bringing together the family of light on Rise TV. And we're going to have many more podcasts and shows like this with great, great warriors out there and people that are going to expand humanity. And that's the future of TV. I swear to God. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. This was the Cosmic Human Design Podcast, and we're signing out. Everybody have a great night.